Well, it's time to sit down, grab a sweet tea in your hand, on a worn-out rocker with a view of this southern land. I got the crickets singing low and the fireflies in the sky. It's front porch talking time, let the world roll by. It's time to sit down with a little front porch talking with our friends Robert and David, a Southern Fried Podcast. They're gonna talk about Donald Trump, they're gonna talk MAGA, but they're keeping it real like only Southern boys can. You might agree or you might just sigh, but they're Southern Fried till the day they die. A little gospel, a little grit, and a whole lot of pride. They speak from the heart, never got nothing to hide. From D.C. to Dixie, they'll stir up the stew. If it ruffles your feathers, well, that's what they do. It's time to sit down with a little front porch talking with our friends Robert and David, a Southern Fried Podcast. They're gonna talk about Donald Trump, they're gonna talk MAGA, but they're keeping it real like only Southern boys can. You might cheer or you might ask why, but they're Southern Fried till the day they die. They got stories, opinions, and a joke or two. Laid back truth with a country point of view. So pull up a chair, don't let the night slip by. There's wisdom in that old southern sky. Yeah, it's time to sit down with a little front porch talking with our friends Robert and David, the Southern Fried Podcast. They're gonna talk about Donald Trump, they're gonna talk MAGA, but they're laughing and living and loving the land. You might stay or just stop by, but they're Southern Fried till the day they die. Yeah, they're Southern Fried.
Well, good Friday evening. Welcome to Front Porch Talking here on the Southern Fried Podcast. I'm Rob. That's Dave. We're going to start your weekend off with a blast. How you doing tonight, Dave?
I'm good. Been in the wind all day. Funeral, driving through a lot of crazy traffic.
Yeah.
The kind that you think that's a good possibility. You might die. It was so bad.
Ooh.
Same area, we had a massive 18-wheeler and pedestrian, civilian car, whatever you want to say. People died, burned up. I about seen it happen again today, I think.
Wow.
Crazy. The state of Tennessee needs to have a thorough review of the DOT, their engineering department, among other things. No offense to anyone. And the state of Tennessee needs to step up, and them and the federal government. And they need to put 3 lanes on each side all the way from Chattanooga to Knoxville. All the way. 2 lanes ain't going to cut it no more. The traffic is just too heavy. All the way up there, all the way back, same story.
Yeah.
And it makes it more dangerous as people are shifting lanes so much and everything. It's anyway. It's good. It's a little crazy. Thank you, Barry. Granddaughter's grandmother on her mom's side. It's always tough to lose your mom and your grandma. And so I was
cool.
They what was I going to say? Well, the thought is gone. I don't know. I was saying something, I don't remember what it was, so it don't matter, I guess. It's gone. The old man can't remember it. But thank you, Barry. They're tough. Want to be there for my granddaughter and others, and hopefully, just by my presence, help them some way. So, but happy Friday night. God bless everybody. God bless America. Absolutely. So it's going to be, we're going to have some fun tonight. We're going to have some fun tonight. We're going to remove Rob. He's not feeling good at the exact moment. He's had a rough afternoon. So he'll be back in just a minute. But yeah, it's rained real hard here. I think both areas. Rob said he got a lot of rain down there. And some storms swept through here. Storms absolutely swept. Just rocked us right as we started the sports show, not the racing, but the sports show. It just rocked it. And thankfully, we didn't lose power and or internet. That's always bad when you start a show, and it just all of a sudden the storm hits you, and you're just there. Hello, Miss Jenneth. You're getting it now? Oh, I'll tell you, it come through here, and it just dropped out. In fact, my co-host Dean and Ken that comes with him, it was still coming down when they left. I hate it for them. They got wet, but they said it looked like rain for the next hour, and so they said we ain't gonna melt. So they just took off, and hopefully they made it home safe. So we hope so. But yeah, you be careful. I'm talking lightning and heavy thunder, pouring down rain. I don't think wind was involved, but it was an absolute mess for a while. But it's cleaning up. But do pray for the family. We appreciate that for the loss of the loved one. It's a day that, well, you don't ever forget it, and it's hard. So my granddaughter handled things really well, but she was sad. So y'all pray for her. That's a tough thing. The first one that's really close to her. When you lose somebody that's that close, like, parent, sibling, grandparent, aunt and uncle even. But that first one, it's really close, inner circle. That leaves a mark, an emotional scar that you really never get over. You just time and the good Lord, you deal with it, and you do the best you can. But it hurts. And I remember I lost my grandfather when I was 5 years old. I was 5 years old. And that day of his funeral was burned into my memory banks. It's like it just was yesterday. Although that's been 55 years ago. 55 years ago. And I can still remember things about that day that really just stand out. I'm sure I've forgotten a lot of stuff, but wow, I felt for her because at 12 years old, it's tough. Tough to lose your grandma, lose her.
Oh, yeah. I lost mine at 54 or 53, and it wasn't very easy then either.
Yeah.
It's like for a youngin' like that.
And some jacklegs. I just want to say real quick, I was so mad. Everybody, and the police did an amazing job, but everybody from Athens all the way over to Decatur, they showed extreme respect. There were some jacklegs, though, that came through. They came through the people pulled over, went around them, and just hammered on. I thought you either got to be Yankees or idiots or both. Everybody else is pulled over, and they just roll through. It was about five of them. I guess that just goes to show you there's always a jerk in the crowd.
Always. Yeah, sorry. Chuck was right here, had his feet up on my legs, making sure I'm all right. But yeah, there's always a jackleg out there that just feels like, the heck with common courtesy, the heck with any sympathy for anybody around you. It's just go, 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 go. Oh, that is rude.
Yeah, and I don't want to hear some Yankee say, "We don't do that." Well, we don't care. We don't care. We love you up
No,
there. We're all Americans, but we don't care that you don't pull over. You're in the
no,
South. We do. Deal with it.
that's right.
By gosh.
That's right. Southern etiquette. I think we've covered that on Southern etiquette.
Oh, we
If
have.
not, I'll go ahead. I will recover it this Thursday.
By the way, is it okay to buy yourself a Father's Day present?
Yeah.
Well, I did. And I'm a bargain hunter. So here is a nice Father's Day cup. And that's a nice cup. That's a big old drinking coffee cup right there with a nice message. And because I'm frugal, $1.25 at the Dollar Tree.
There you go.
$1.25, baby. That's like going to the yard sale right there. It's a good cup. I said, "Oh, I gotta buy that."
Heck yeah.
Ain't it amazing to go to the dollar store? And there's these people that go to the dollar store and they buy 50 of one item because they're all like, $1.25. And and some of the things they buy, I'm thinking that will last you, your kids, and your grandkids the rest of your life. What in the world? I mean, maybe they're selling it recently. I don't know how they get more money out of it, or maybe they just like hoarding stuff. But there's just some things like if it's toilet paper, I get it. You're gonna use that. If it's toothpaste or something, you're gonna use that. But some things you're not gonna use. Not a 2 cases worth.
Yeah.
I bet Miss Jenneth is a Dollar Tree store, general store. I bet she's a power shopper at one of them places.
I bet
Mary, I think that I might have saw some of that in the cemeteries up there. That name, maybe it's been a while back. Me and Kaylee went around and just visited cemeteries. The veterans thing they got going on where they're putting bricks down for some of the soldiers from Decatur in the county there. I may have, not even thinking about it. I bought me a birthday present, a large cap, T-shirt, 3X. You go, boy. You go. It's your day. It's your birthday.
Yeah. Darn Skippy.
But a 3X, that's a big cat. That's a big old cat right there now. You can see him coming.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, okay. So going on this weekend, we have all these protests or the No More Kings thing. Okay. And you sent me some stuff on that today. And I appreciate that because I got looking because it's right here in South Georgia. It's Albany, Douglas, and Valdosta, correct?
I believe so.
And they're 2 hours apart. Why wouldn't they have them all at the same time, you think? It's so that their people that they've paid to be there have time to load up and go to the next one. You know?
Cool.
They've exposed 198 Democratic organizations orchestrating Saturday's No Kings demonstrations. And you know, Al Sharpton, of course, is in amongst all that.
Who says Marines ain't arresting people?
Yeah, let them do it. Eat them crayons and arrest them people. Y'all got this. Hoorah.
Yeah.
Hoorah. Wendy Weingarten, the teachers union president, she's got stuff in it. but collectively the groups that are involved in it, and many of them are tax exempt. They're aligned with the Democrat Party. And these groups take in over 2.1 billion in annual revenue. And then they organize stuff to go against the Republican Party or the Republican president. Why are they nonprofit? Why? Why? They should be paying taxes, correct? If it's not for both sides, if it's not equal, then
Well, I've read a little bit about that. Actually, it's very rare that they do anything about that. Apparently, very rare, because the reason is, one is they don't want to look bad coming down on some churches that have done it, and or some civic groups and stuff. So the rules are. I've always heard that too, and yes, it's true, but it's one of those rules that's just hardly ever enforced. And I seen an article on that here a while back.
Yeah, it's time. If your church is, instead of preaching the gospel, and is instead, hey, there's Brother Hester. How you doing, Bubba? You doing all right tonight? If your church and stuff is out there campaigning for the Democrats, then you're not a church. If you're campaigning for Republicans, you're not a church. You preach the word of God. That's what a church is for. To me,
This is a slippery slope right here. And as a pastor, I have tried to thread that needle. But if you are going to sit there and say, if you talk about anything with politics, you're not a church. I guess I'm in that.
No, I'm not saying anything, but I mean, if that's
I have had politicians in my church, and if they want to stand in front of them and talk about an issue that church Christians are concerned about, such as pro-life or whatever the issue may be, schools even or whatever, because churches have always been a collective point where the community come together. So churches were met in traditionally throughout American history. I am against those that get up and let the politician act like they're preaching and all that. That is way over the top, and I'm against that. It makes me sick. But as a pastor, I always tell politicians, if you want to come address, that's fine. If you want to give me literature, I'll put it somewhere. If somebody wants it, they have it. If not, we'll throw it in the garbage. But I don't try to sway. I don't campaign for any particular candidate. What I do is challenge things that are going on in the community related to decisions that have been made by politicians. So I think it's a line you have to be careful with. I get what you're saying. I agree, but they're
all they do.
They're not going to do anything with it.
But if that's all they do is politics, if that's all they do, what it's not a church.
Well, let's spin this just a little bit more. Let's say you were given let's say someone sent you the charges that a Korean church, a African American church, or something like that, or whatever, was doing some of that. How heavy are you going to come down on them, and how much back flush are you going to get as someone who's sent out to even deal with it? I think they kill it before they ever go, because it can go really bad, and nobody wants to be the person that shuts a church down or has a pastor arrested. That's just never going to happen, Barry. It's very rare.
Here's the thing. You can give them a warning. You don't have to shut the church down. You can give them a warning and say, look, you're using this for politics, not for worship. If it keeps going, then this is what you're going to lose your tax exempt status.
Well, again, I'm just playing the other side here. I'm not arguing. But when you go in the church, how much preaching do you have to do for them to say, well, we preach here? We just also believe in promoting people that we believe are good for us, good for our community, good for our church. We should have the right to tell our people about it, give them a chance to stand up. But we do have preaching here and singing and worship and all that. So again, it's a slippery slope, man. It's one of those things that can get you.
What I'm saying is it'd be fine to do that. It's fine, but not during your church service. Have a separate service for that or a separate gathering for that. Churches are a gathering place for the community.
And I am telling you, there's not a politician in the world that's going to, or a city official, county, state, or federal, that's going to walk into church and try to tell them how to do anything. And you know what? I don't want them doing it either.
All right. So everybody, let's go out there with our churches. Let's organize political standings and let's all push politics at church.
Be careful what you ask for is all I'll say. Be careful what you ask for.
Yeah.
Again, you're going to have to prove that, and you're going to get raked over the coals by. Think about all those people are voters, and then next thing you know, they're going to be you're going to be public enemy number one.
You know what? I
already am. There, Michael. I'm just telling you the reality of it. I'm not arguing with you. I'm telling you the reality of it. And I have heard people say this from their mouths.
Yes,
I will not be the guy that gets that goes and somehow causes a church to shut down. I'm not going to be that unless there are exceptions. They're committing crimes against children, the pastor, whatever. You come in, absolutely, they're going to do that. There's sexual deviancy going on. There's, they'll arrest a person that's committed fraud. Usually the church calls them. They'll say, we got a person that's stolen money. They may not do the whole church. There have been some churches that were pulled in before the IRS. And I can tell you that in most cases, the judges sitting on the bench schooled the IRS so hard and said, by gosh, don't you ever bring a case back in here attacking these churches like you have, because your evidence does not support your charges. And they came after him for a while on tax matters, not on political, but tax matters. And so they just are afraid to do it. They're afraid to do it. I get mad about it because I don't think behind the pulpit is the place to have someone do that. But as far as bringing them up and letting them, say a few things and answer questions is what I like. I like for them to come and answer questions. That's putting them before the people.
Yeah. And the whole thing is, this thing here, resist Trump outlines a theory of change to remove or replace Trump. And realize a future without Trump. That's kind of like an insurrection, is it not? Trump is the standing elected president, the sitting president. He was elected into office. And they're trying to circumvent him there. Is that not be considered insurrection?
Say that again.
Resist Trump outlines, this is one of the groups, a theory of change to remove or replace Trump and realize a future without Trump.
That's not an insurrection.
Okay.
If they had guns there, they were saying, arm up, we're marching on Washington. Yeah. But remove could mean by vote, or it could mean to encourage your political leaders to start the process of, which never works, by the way. What do they mean by that? That would be my question.
Yeah. Well, here's another thing on it. It's the same groups, Resist Trump. One of the partners for Saturday's protest promotes an orientation slide deck that itemizes the elements of expressing political dissent from voting to violence. While the group claims to promote nonviolence, it includes, without comment, political violence as a part of the continuum of protest, including armed revolts, riots, terrorisms, and insurrections. So they claim not to promote it, but they don't speak out against it. Which I don't guess you have to speak out against anything. So, but this is the kind of screwed up stuff we're dealing with. If people wonder how Democrats keep getting elected, this is how. This is how they keep doing it. You know, point blank, they lie. What was that? How I described a jackleg last night? You said I sounded like I was describing the
Democratic Party.
Let me go back. Can I read that out one more time?
Sure.
Jackleg / Democrat. An obnoxious person who knows no end of foulness in their life. Someone who will lie, steal, incite, cheat, kick dogs, eat cats, spit in someone's food, mislead the people around them, bear false witness, and manipulate any situation they can manufacture to their advantage or to win over someone else. And after that, I included a jackwagon, was all of the above, and they talk at the movies. But yeah, and that's exactly what they're doing. I mean,
Barry, to your point, it is true that those on the conservative side are attacked more. But here's my question: these spots are filled by conservatives and liberals. So why? I mean, but I get it. But there was conservatives that were brought before the IRS judge and they got thrown out, and they said, "Don't bring cases like this in here again, or I'm gonna." He was talking about getting them in trouble because he said it was overreach what they were doing. It was over employees. You got to be careful of that as a church. You got to be careful. And another thing you got to remember, Rob, is a lot of these are not 501(c)(3)s.
Yeah.
A church is. In fact, I don't want to be a 501(c)(3) as a church.
No.
I have a God-given right to just be a church. I don't have to have no 501(c). A lot of them went to 501(c) because they wanted to accept government handout, and a lot of them got themselves hooked in with the devil when that deal happened. And President Bush was one that really, George W., he pushed a lot, and I said there ain't no way I'd want anything to do with that because that's making a deal with the devil right there, and it'll come back to bite you. Now you still have to fight. There's things you have to do as a church. There's classes on it, and churches sometimes get in trouble because they think they don't have to report anything. But when you have employees, like you have let's say a daycare, a lot of churches have a daycare. They take in money, they pay employees. That falls under some rules, and so you got to be careful of that, or you can get in a lot of trouble. So churches that just thought, well, I don't have to do any of this. That's not true. There's things you have to do. So it's really important that the treasurer and the leaders of the church and the pastor have a good handle on what is and isn't required. But the bigger you get, the more these little small churches, they have 50 to 70 members. They're probably never going to have any kind of thing like that. But a church that's like 250, 500, 1,500, 5,000, they start getting into that because they end up having full-time employees. And so you have to be, like I said, you got to really be studied up on that. And really what you do is you just go to somebody and you pay them and say, listen, I want to stay compliant. We need some bookkeeping here. Help us out, Unless you got some churches have those people that's what they do for a living. So they offer their services to the church sometimes just so they can stay compliant. There's all kinds of situations. I had a friend and he had to do a bunch of crazy rules. They had some they were grandfathered in under an old rule in the state of Georgia as a college. And the state of Georgia tried to say that they couldn't be licensed because what happened is they got some property donated to them. Long story short, they tried to they made them come out from under the old agreement because things had changed without giving any details here and who the place is. But I remember there were so many things that the pastor had to do. They made him run ads in the paper for, I think, for continually stating that they're not racist. As long as that particular place is there, they have to run so many ads per year in multiple papers to put the disclaimer that they don't discriminate against various groups, which are traditionally the ones that you would think about. And they said you're not going to be able to open this school under anyway. It gets icky, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But back to the original, I agree with you. I'm absolutely agreeing with you. I'm just saying the reality is on the ground they're not going to do it. They're not going to touch it unless it's a bunch of South Georgia good old boys. Good people. They'd probably come to them, but they ain't hitting Atlanta, brother. That ain't happening. That ain't happening. Yeah, Barry, there's forms you got to file. There's things that happen. Oops, sorry.
Oh, and I also, that's one of the things I want to talk about. I don't want to talk, I don't even want to give that No More Kings thing. I don't even want to give it any credence. I don't even want to talk about it. I don't want to give them the benefit of me talking about it because it's just absolutely asinine. It's manufactured. It is bought and paid for. It is just something to try to show up Trump and let them hold on to power.
The other thing I will say is they're preaching to their choir. Who are the people that's showing up anyway? They're in the cities. It's city people.
Yeah.
So they're already left. They're already blue. They're already lived to a large degree. So, yeah. Are they
were talking about? What was it he said? Oh my gosh! I said I wasn't going to talk about him, but I'm going to. Sanders was like, "Well, I'm so glad to see them making such, deep into red territory. As everybody stand together, but they're not. That's just it. They're not standing together. It's all their folks and the people that they paid to be there. I mean, come on.
Rob, I got to tell you, full disclosure here. This is serious business for the Southern Fried. Broski Bear has put us in a dangerous position. Dangerous. Absolutely dangerous position. He made a comment. I'm just glad that Miss Elizabeth was not here for it.
What'd he do? What's it say?
It was basically we were talking about women's sports, and Broski become all hardcore. That there was no need for women's sports. They just need to be taught how to cook, clean, da 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 da. And then he puts mic drop.
Oh.
I'm glad Elizabeth wasn't here.
Oh.
And then he did it again in another way. He did it twice. Like if the first one wasn't mic drop enough, he did it again.
Yeah.
If you come back Monday night and do that, or if she's back Monday.
Oh, please do. It'll be excellent for a ratings.
You might go to hell.
We'll make some clips out of it if you'll do it. You think that clip with her sending Steve to hell was funny? You pull a mic drop on her. Oh my gosh.
I got to give him credit. That was bold. Not real
gutsy,
smart to do it, but it's bold.
That is gutsy. I'll give you that. All right. I'm trying to get a couple of serious things out of the way because I know it's weighing heavy on everybody, and then I want to just end up the show on some lightheartedness, if we can. I said the only Olympic sports for women should be cooking, baking, vacuuming, bathroom cleaning. 992, 95, 94. Mic drop. Dude. Oh,
I told you.
Jeneth's on here. I guarantee you Jeneth just saw that too. Broski, they might come hunt you down, sir.
It's a Thelma and Louise kind of night.
That's why you need a tool like a grab her to pick up the underwear. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. No, y'all didn't. To grab her. Oh.
You scared me there for a minute. I thought you were going somewhere else. Oh my gosh. What a night.
Oh no, it's too late. You don't put a grab her up there after that comment that Barrett Broski just made. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Ouch. Oh.
Oh, Broski. Make America great again by
warm
teaching
my
women to
hands.
cook and clean again.
I can feel the heat on that comment over here. My hands
Mic
are getting
drop.
warm.
Oh. Mic drop.
Broski is feeling rather frisky tonight.
I've got like 30 of them going through my brain right now, and I'm scared to say any of them. I'm a little bit fearful, and I don't get fearful on the show, but I'm a little bit fearful. Men shouldn't be acting like women. If you are starting listening and say, I'm wrong.
To your other comment, Michael, there are a couple of movements within that. The early one, yes. The later one, no, not yet. But the early one, absolutely think that Confederation of States is going to come against Israel. The early one, pre-tribulational, yes. I think we're getting close.
Okay, I have a thought for y'all.
Uh-oh.
Y'all ready for this? Between a man and a woman, or a husband and a wife, if the husband's always wrong, if the woman's always right, and the husband tells the wife that she's right, is he still wrong?
Yeah, because a lady don't like to be told she's right. Like it's like you've got to tell me that. No, I don't need you to tell me I'm right. I know I'm right.
So okay,
you lose either way. Is the point?
So if a woman's alone in the woods when she's griping, does she still make a sound?
If Elizabeth Warren's in the woods making sounds, Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah.
If she's making noises in the woods, the animals leave the woods and go find a park ranger or a forest ranger and say, could you please remove this illegal animal, alien, from our woods? Because we can't get any sleep for her mouth.
Wait a minute. You said Elizabeth Warren, right?
Yeah.
That's Pocahontas, right?
Well, that's what I've heard.
She's the engine. She's got ties to them woods, spiritual ties, and all that. You know she's excellent at woodcraft. She probably goes out there and sings to them like Snow White, and they all die like they did in Shrek when the girl ogre was singing to them. Swell up and pop. Maxine Waters is alone in the woods, stirring her cauldron. Oh, Lord. Would she still be in love with Steve?
I'm glad he's beating on steel right now. He don't hear us.
Yeah. Oh. Oh, Lord. Oh. Oh. You know, if we really want, hey, Dean, how are you doing? Your computer ain't loud enough for your mom to hear this, is she? Is it? These guys here trying to get these women fired up tonight.
Rob, she had to put a quarter in a tip jar.
What?
Let's just say last week we had a little bit of a typo.
Oh.
That made it on the screen.
Yeah.
And she had to put a quarter in a tip jar.
Now, Dean, you just had surgery on your knee. How's your knee doing anyway?
It's fine until Mama has to kick it, you know. Like, you know, that's what they said in Roadhouse. You know, you kick out of the knee, he's going down. I mean, you know.
You know, I heard MAGA had another meeting. You know, everybody says it's about Make America Great Again. I heard somewhere that it stood for Make All Girls Apologize.
You're on your own, man. I don't know where you're.
I heard that. I didn't come up with that. I ain't smart enough to figure that out. All girls apologize. Make all girls apologize. So if you support MAGA, just throwing it out there. Not now they're going to be quiet. All right, these guys have been throwing spears all night long and daggers. I throw a little one out there, and now they all get quiet.
I'm not quiet. I'm still trying to figure out what you're trying to say. It kind of went over my head. I'm not
make
sure
all girls apologize for being mean and ornery and stubborn and not doing a good job cleaning the house and griping about having to pick up your underwear.
Mom is watching.
Uh-oh. You're right, Michael. I got to back off it. Yeah, everybody else was doing it. So now I got to back off. I got you.
I think they probably are apologizing for marrying some guys. I'm sorry I married that guy.
Are you calling me Becky? Good job, Becky. You dropped an inch off the ground and shot a smaller sized basketball and looked so coordinated doing it. Yeah, Becky.
Oh. He's on fire tonight, man.
Were you?
Oh,
nothing?
Yeah, nothing. Having a great night.
Yeah, we're just trucking right on there, Miss Jenna. Don't you worry about it.
How's the cats doing?
Yeah.
Were the cats listening?
Are they going to rat on us? Don't you back this thing up either.
I ain't touching nothing.
No. Ugg is not ugly. What? Oh, get it, Dave.
Ugga is not ugly.
No, Ugga is not ugly. What?
Hey.
What?
Don't start. Don't be picking on the great. There you go, Dean. There you go. Ugga is not ugly.
All right. The good one is sitting on her. The good cat. Okay.
Male or female?
I love the way you changed the subject there. You're good at that.
I didn't live this long and be married this long without having some skill. Which let me be careful here. Today was one of those days where I felt like I was outflanked at every turn And I just pulled the car over and said, please give clear direction for the next 30 minutes of my life because I really don't know which direction to go. Because every direction I've turned has been wrong. And I don't just mean like directional, but I just felt like every path was a path to hell. It's like, well, the flames are pretty hot on this trail. Let me change trails. Oh, that's even worse. Every guy has been there.
Well, here's another thing. This is another thing that I didn't like about funerals, and I don't like. I went to my mom's funeral, and it was bad enough having to be there. And you got to understand, I love people. I love everybody I meet. And have you ever heard of the Baptist cloth, Dave?
No.
Or anybody out there? Have y'all heard of the Baptist cloth? When I describe this to you, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. The elderly lady, I've known her my whole life. Hadn't seen her in a while, and she wanted to talk. And so my arm's here. She grabs my arm in the Baptist cloth. You can't get away. You cannot break the grip on the Baptist claw because you might hurt her feelings. Okay, so you're stuck in the Baptist claw. And she begins to interrogate you on all the goings on in your life for the past 30 years. And if you try to get away, and her son was there like, Mama, they got to go. They've got to go. They're doing the dinner next door and everything. Well, one more thing. Just answer me this. And then 10 minutes later, Mama, they really have to go. But answer me this. Do you know the Baptist claw?
Why does it have to be called Baptist? Could that be a Catholic, Buddhist, whatever claw? Does it have to? Why does it have to be Baptist?
Because I go to a Baptist church. I go to a Baptist church.
So if you're in a Catholic church, that's a Catholic claw?
I guess.
I just wondered. It's kind of interesting. I never heard that before.
Have you ever seen it though?
Maybe. I don't know.
Has anybody else out there seen, or am I the only one that's fallen victim to the Baptist claw? I do too. Have you seen it, Dean?
He probably has. And they be Baptist.
Oh, see? You do it. Or it happened to you. Oh.
I'm glad y'all made it home safe. That was some storms rocking through. Bless y'all.
Dave, I think I need a few minutes.
All right.
I'll be.
No problem, man.
I'm gonna take off.
All right. Yeah, we got some rocking storms. Mom knows it. Man, you're talking brave. Mom knows it. She can't talk. She's in podcast jail. No, she done got bailed out with a promise never to do it again. It's like a warning, you know.
I'm losing it. I'm losing it. But Dean, didn't you say that's where she belongs? Is in podcast jail? I'm losing it. I'm gonna have to. That comment just hit me. Did you say she belongs in podcast jail? Did I understand that correctly? I'm not hearing real good right now. Is that what you said?
I think it was a self-imposed podcast.
He said yes. That's what he said. So, okay, that you're fixed to be in mama jail. I got happy.
Well, it was spell check. It wasn't spell. It's like a lot of us. It was spell check. So, yeah. Seriously, which country's women would gold medal in cooking, baking, and vacuuming? I think Broski's ready to move there. Um, which country's women would gold medal in cooking, baking, and vacuuming? That would be the southern nation of the United States of America. Closely followed by probably, I don't know, the ladies in Norway or something. Been there. Oh, come on, man. No, it's the southern nation. Southern nation, buddy. What happened? Yes, it was spell check. Have you ever went to send a text? Hello, Mr. Sherbert. Well, that's a good guess, too. That's a good guess. Not bad. Kudos to you. Have you ever went to send a text and your thumb almost went on the button and you went, oh! Like you almost thought you really sent it, but you didn't. And you looked at it and you realized you read it. You're like, oh my gosh, I just about lost my job. Have you ever had that happen? You're multitasking, you're just trying to respond real quick, and you're about to hit it. You're like, oh no, what's that? Yeah, Dean's innocent till mom says he's guilty. Michael, my sister, probably could win that one and be happy about it. Yeah. Barry says Japan. Well, I could roll with that too. I could roll with that. Although I'm not a huge fan of Japanese cuisine. I like some of it. You know me, I'm a picky eater. But that's a really good question. A thought-provoking question. Which country would be good at that? Dean says, yuck. Jenna says it has happened to her. Yeah, Jennifer T. Yeah. Japan's got some great chicken. I've never been, but it's got to be pretty cool. People everywhere, and expensive. It's expensive in Japan. They got to ship a lot of things in. They're running out of land. It's expensive. But if you got plenty of money, that'd be a fun place to hang out, eat for a while. Hey, by the way, who Mr. Sherbert, Mexico, that may be true, but who can eat it? Some things you just can't eat if you're not from there. So that's kind of two-way street. We ate, when we were down there, we ate a lot of things at the hotel and major chains. We never, ever, 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 and we're told not to do it, ate anything off the street. They said, if you do, you're going to have a miserable trip. Canada says Canada's expensive. That's why they need to join forces with the United States of America. Get them state privileges. Mr. Sherbert, someone else told me that. My pick is Japan, Philippines, Middle Eastern. Middle Eastern's great too. The great thing about some of those places you talk about, it's all fresh. And see, the problem we have here is everything's made to sit in the shelves and fridge and every freezer, whatever, forever. They go get the stuff fresh every day. That's a daily thing. Like, let's go down the market, see what's fresh today. Fresh fish, fresh this, every day. They visit those open air markets and ain't nothing like it. They take it all in. It's all fresh. They make it up. and it's good eating. Broski Bear says prices in Canada have skyrocketed, especially the housing market there. It's worse than here. Is that due to tariffs or just the economy's not doing good? Maybe a little of both. Canada. Don't get in an argument with the United States of America. Be a partner. Good things can happen. Have you heard that we may hit Greenland? They've got plans to militarily take it. Pete Hegseth, loud and charged in the House. They hadn't talked about that in weeks. Out of the blue, they said, "Oh, we're prepared if we need to militarily to take it." Look at how the Marines are landing at Greenland. Porch, the 101st Airborne Division is going to drop in out of the sky. Or are they going to land with some C-130s at the airport, and disembark and start, Rambo style? We're just going to take it. That's what they said. We're just waiting for the right moment. When we're ready, we'll take it. I wasn't expecting to hear that. Although I fully believe they've intended to do that because it's of strategic importance and they won't play ball. So really, why do you say that and how do you know? Yeah, when nobody's looking like, oh, war in the Middle East, Ukraine, Russia, other things flying up in the air. We get the early morning, attention, news bulletin. The 101st Airborne Division has landed in Greenland. The American flags are now flying over the capital of Greenland. And the Russians or Chinese are going to be landing at the same time. They're going to say, hey, we were here first. We'll split it with you. Or Russia, it's a 3. We're going to split it in 3s. Everybody gets a piece. I just never thought I'd hear them say that. Like, I mean, couldn't you land like a regular plane? A few Marines get off and say, it's ours. Prove me wrong. I don't know. I don't think it would be that hard. Be honest. It's like a weekend at Bernie's. It would be. I mean, that flank we need right there. And they would benefit. I know it's controversial, but what is this? One of those lines from a movie. Sometimes a guy's just got to do what a guy's got to do. I don't know what to say. It's like, they're still mad about Southern California, most of Texas, Arizona, We want it back. Well, I'm sorry. We went to war with you and you lost. You ain't getting it back. That's the way it works. That's why you got to be strong. Or somebody will come along and take your property. And I say, it's mine now. Prove me wrong. You can cry all day, but it's not going to be turned back over. You can have all the little movements. You can try to get stuff going through a bill. You can, have rallies. We're not giving it back. That's not the way this works. However, if you want to try to take it back, we'll be more than happy to light you up. I mean, what do these people think they're going to do? We're just going to sign it over? Oh, you're right. Let's give a good part of California, Arizona, and Texas back just because we're nice guys. It ain't happening. So most land has been taken through war. I mean, that's what happens. People don't understand that. The Indians were here first, but they lost. I know people don't like that. but they lost. That's what will happen to us if we don't stay strong. The Russians will land here. Under Joe Biden, we were headed. My gosh, I mean, what is some teeny tiny butthole country? I'm trying to think of where my mind's going blank. Well, I'll say it and I'll get in trouble. There'll be somebody listening from that teeny tiny butthole country. But just think of some little nothing country. If under Joe Biden we were headed, they could have landed and just taken us. Well, not really, because the people wouldn't allowed it. But we're not giving back the property. So Greenland, we're gonna fly the flag. Douglas MacArthur taught me maybe Trump could come off the carrier with the pop sunglasses. Trump has landed.
Now, I can't yet.
Robert,
Keep going. Keep going. I'm laughing. No, y'all keep going.
Well, I'm saying you got something that he's thinking inappropriate thoughts. And he's trying not to let it out of his mouth, which means we're doomed because it's going to happen.
Broski said something that I saw before I left, and I've got to put this back up there. I got to put this. Seriously, which country's women would gold medal in cooking, baking, and vacuuming? Are you going to throw laundry in there? Is laundry a sport now for the women Olympics for the other countries?
What's funny is all we ever talked about was the cooking and baking. We didn't say nothing about the vacuuming. So how do you people know that the ones in Mexico vacuum good? That's my challenge to you.
All right. I'm sorry. It was in bathroom cleaning, he said. Yeah, he said, yep, laundry, good call, and bathroom cleaning. Jennifer T., you are right.
No, we'll just push the people we don't want in here out. Why should we give up good land? That's good farming land. No. We got the Marines. We already got them there. Let's just start pushing some of them into Mexico.
Well, a lot of them are flying the flags in the protest.
I mean, say, hey, Mexico, you can have them back.
All right, so Broski has his top choices so far. Now, for which event? Top choices so far: Mexico, Japan, Philippines, Middle East countries. Women wouldn't be allowed to compete, but I bet they'd be good at a lot of that. They don't have no choice but to listen to their husband. And they got extra laundry to do because they got to get that thing that covers their face. California, good farming land, my backside. Y'all go get me in trouble. I can't do it. Okay, I'm being nice now. Okay. Broski said they'd be excellent at it, but they wouldn't be allowed to compete. Michael, you are right about that. You are right about that. We need every state, like Sarah Huckabee did in her state, stop outside people from buying it. Absolutely. Oh, you are correct. Oh. We do need to stop people from buying. You got no business in there. I'm sorry, Dave. I'm kind of still a little bit off. Just y'all bear with me. I'm I'm struggling tonight a little bit.
Michael says I'm echoing. I'm gonna have to pop out. I'll try to come back in.
Okay.
I don't.
All right. Let's keep this thing
I
going
have.
then.
I have no idea what's going on, but
Okay. So, uh, well, California does have all the vineyards. It's got olive groves. It's got fruit farms. It's got a lot of good farming out there. They just don't have any water. You know, if they had more water out there, it would probably be a lot better. But they're kind of penalized and charging people for water and everything else. So it's kind of hard for the people to you know go out there. It's not bad farmland. I mean, we've got good farmland here in South Georgia too. But it's gotten to where here in South Georgia anyway, the cost on it have gotten so high that the farmers can't make any money. It's hard to have any money at the end of the year when you spend all your money on fuel and fertilizers and all this stuff that the prices are just so jacked up. And they got environmental regulations. They got all this crazy stuff going on. Excess bills, extra tax here and extra tax there. All these little 1 cent taxes and stuff like East Law stuff, that all starts adding up. The farmers got it rough. A lot of them, they rent farmland now. They don't own it. They can't afford the property taxes on it. Oh, uh, I'm trying to see what Michael was saying there. He's got echo. Okay. Trying to get caught up on everything there. Um, so yeah, I mean, they got some farmland. They got some good farmland. It's just hard to, I mean, I see where you're coming from. Is the good farmland worth putting up with all the BS that comes out of there? And I don't know about that, Mr. Jim. I really don't. Uh, that's Dave. He says you're over modulating. He believes. I don't know what that means, but uh, yes, Miss Jennifer, the property taxes are outrageous, and it varies county to county. And the county that I live in one of the is one of the higher tax rates in the state. You know, and that just directly affects the farmers. And some of the services that they're given just doesn't match up. So I don't know, uh, but yes, they are for real outrageous. You know, you can't afford to buy anything and keep it. It's ridiculous. You know, and don't think they won't beat you out in a heartbeat. Uh, personally, uh, I own my home. I live in a trailer. I'm a true redneck. I live in a double wide, but it's still a trailer. Uh, we've got some family property down here that I'm set up on. I don't pay taxes on the property. Uh, my uncle does because it's family property, and he said he wanted to pay it. So fine, that helps me out a little bit. That helps me out a lot actually. But I do have to pay taxes on my home. Okay, and when I first started paying taxes on it, it was like $1,300 a year because it was brand new. And it's a double. It's a trailer. It depreciates in value. Okay, but they dropped the millage rate and raised it up in some other ways. But anyway, they dropped the millage rate but increased the values, so you actually end up paying more taxes. My property taxes dropped by a couple $100 the first year, dropped a little bit the next year. Then for the next 3 years, they have gone up, and now they're more than what I paid originally when I first put it up. It's ridiculous, and they'll beat you any way they can. That's your tax bill. You know, don't look at it too hard. There's your tax bill. Well, I done called and argued with the tax assessors, and I hadn't heard back from her. I am going to call her back, and we're going to figure this out because my home does not. The trailer doesn't increase in value; it decreases down to a certain point anyway. Why am I still? Why am I paying more now than I did when it was brand new? It's ridiculous. So, but you're right. You know, it's not just farmers that affects; it affects everybody, and it's silly, 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 silly. We're gonna make it to where nobody can farm, and now our food prices are going to go up because the government's gotten way too far involved in it, and now the farmers can't afford to do anything. You know, those guys got it rough. You know, people don't realize just how rough the American farmer has it. We see it every day down here. We see it. Uh, it's all around. You know, uh, my neighbors are farmers. There's a field right next to my house here, and it's peanuts this year. You know, and then this particular farmer's got cotton. He's got uh, corn. I mean, he's got everything. He grows. He rotates. But you know, uh, we hear talk about it all the time. You know, everything's gone up, but their prices, what they get paid for it, hasn't. That's an issue. If you're spending more to make something, if you're spending more than you can get paid for making it or growing it, then that's a problem. So sorry guys. I'm trying to. Um. So you're from a farming family too. Uh, where are you from, Miss Jennifer? Miss Jennifer T. But yeah, uh, and yeah, there's more to agriculture than just farming. I mean, it's affected every aspect of agriculture. I mean, they used to raise a lot of hogs, a lot of cow beef down this area. Uh, Calhoun, Georgia. I know Calhoun pretty well. Uh, uh, I like Calhoun down there. So yeah, that's a wonderful area. But yeah, it's they can't afford to raise beef anymore. They can't, and hogs hardly. They can't hardly afford to do it. And when they do sell them, they got to sell them out Midwest somewhere because most of your local butcher houses and slaughterhouses have shut down. They couldn't compete. So, like, I grew up working in a slaughterhouse. My granddaddy owned one. I've been cutting meat most of my life. I cut meat for most of my life. And back then, it was a lot more hogs being raised. There was a lot more cattle being raised. They bring one in every once in a while and have it butchered and wrapped up and all that good stuff. But regulations got to be more and more and more, and they shut the little man out, and it was done intentionally, I believe. You shut the little man out, and then these big packing houses and stuff can shoot. They can contribute to your campaign and all that kind of stuff. They've got money now, or excess money. You know, that's the only place you can get your beef from now is out of a box, just about. I'm not saying it's gone completely. There's still some out there, but you know, if you raise your own, it's still processing one now costs a small fortune too, because you got to find some place that can actually do it. And I've got a property here. I thought about raising a cow, but then I'd name it, and then it'd be a pet, and then I couldn't eat it. You know, I'm sorry, I'm a big old softy when it comes to some of that stuff. Yeah, I could still, but excuse me. Uh, I might, pull in Ohio and fatten my cat up where I can eat him if I get real hungry. That's right, Chuck. I said, if you look at me with that one eye like that, I wouldn't eat my cat. He's my buddy. Mr. Sherbert, that's not nice. Uh, uh. He said he'd start raising animals if it weren't for the big animal he lived with. What? That's just not nice. Not nice. Uh, uh, yeah, I'm okay. I've got some issues sometimes, and Dave's having mic issues, and normally I would just step away again for a few minutes, but uh, we just got some issues tonight. So, uh, oh, Barry has thrown us a good comment up over here. I'm going to have to transfer this over. I didn't see it when it happened. I'm sorry, but I am going to Barry. This is going to make the list over here. Everybody can see it, and Barry said, "What if they made a vacuum that's like a riding lawnmower?" Wow. That would be kind of awesome, actually. And in a way, they kind of do. They've got those little robot ones. They'll just vacuum it for you. You don't have to ride it. I guess you could. I don't know if it's for my weight or not. But I've seen cats ride around on them. I can see Chuck running like crazy all over the house trying to do it. Uh, I could just see it. Um, well, there was another uh, there's another video that I wanted to play tonight. If it's still on here, I don't know if it is or not. That might have been off the shared screen. Uh, oh well, it'll be all right. We'll just do a different one. Uh, well, I want to do the Patriot one. All right, let me run this video real quick. I'm gonna stay up on the screen. But if y'all hadn't seen this, I think this is it. Here we go. I don't think it's going. Is that a? No, that's a background. I need the video. Oh, there it is. All right, here's the first video that I wanted to show. We're gonna give a big shout out to Patriot Mobile. It's the only Christian company phone company in the country, and let's air this one here real quick. It's not a long video.
Hi, my name is Glenn Story, and I'm the CEO of Patriot Mobile. This Father's Day, let's take a moment to honor the men who choose to lead their families with strength, humility, and grace. We recognize that fathers, grandfathers, and mentors who reflect the love of our Heavenly Father and how they serve, protect, and guide their children and their families. The Bible gives us a clear picture of what fatherhood really looks like. As fathers, we are called to protect, guide, and provide our families using our faith as our compass, much the way Jesus led the disciples. Whether at home or in church or in our communities, fathers put family first without the need for recognition or thanks. At Patriot Mobile, we proudly stand with those who have received the blessings of fatherhood. That's why we support organizations that defend biblical values, protect our families, and advance the causes that honor our God. Use the promo code below to get your first month free when you switch to Patriot Mobile, America's only Christian conservative cell phone service provider. And with every call and text you make, you'll know that you're supporting a company that believes strong fathers build strong families, and strong families build an even stronger America. Happy Father's Day, and may God bless all the fathers in our great nation.
There we go. That's Patriot Mobile. Yeah, go on there and use promo code Cornbread, and you'll get your first month free. If you're looking for a new cell company, hey, hit them up. Uh, they support the values that we do. So, in the other video that I wanted to show, me and David played this last night, and I'm going to play it again. Absolutely amazing. It comes out of Florida, and I don't think I want to mess with Florida anymore, especially not the law enforcement. So here, let me put this up there.
Lawful orders, you're going to jail. Let me be very clear about that. If you block an intersection or a roadway in Brevard County, you are going to jail. If you flee arrest, you're going to go to jail tired because we are going to run you down and put you in jail. If you try to mob rule a car in Brevard County, gathering around it, refusing to let the driver leave, in our county, you're most likely going to get run over and dragged across the street. If you spit on us, you're going to the hospital and in jail. If you hit one of us, you're going to the hospital and jail, and most likely get bitten by one of our big, beautiful dogs that we have here. If you throw a brick, a firebomb, or point a gun at one of our deputies, we will be notifying your family where to collect your remains at, because we will kill you graveyard dead. We're not going to play. This has got to stop.
I don't think they could say that much clearer. Florida's not playing on this. So, yeah, Florida's taking this very seriously. They don't want the mess out in LA coming down there. And wow, yeah, there's a lot going on with that. So, all right. To all the women folk out there, I'm sorry, but we've got to hit this. There's too many comments coming in. And, Jeneth, I'm sorry. I did not start this line. And Miss Jennifer T, I apologize to you too, but Mr. Broski, has started a comment thread. And this is Front Porch Talking. We're supposed to be having some fun on this thing. So here we go. What country would be most likely to medal for the women's women's Olympic events? Miss Jennifer, you're absolutely right. That's amazing. I love the fact that they are just point blank saying we're not putting up with anybody's crap. I think a better way of saying it is keep that on the West Coast, leave the East Coast out of it. But that whole thing is just nothing but a bunch of manufactured. Oh, here I go on the soapbox. Nothing but a bunch of manufactured bull crap, and it is manufactured. Don't think it's not. Yeah, Russia could have something to do with it, but a lot of these, Miss Joanne, I'm glad you're here tonight. It's a manufactured thing. It's a manufactured crisis. They want to cause and stir up as much trouble as they possibly can. Midterms are coming up. They're not that far away. So they're starting now. They're going to start. And they've got companies out there that are hiring people to go out and protest. There are actually companies that exist for that purpose. Now, how sorry can your cause be? Oh, I can't get enough people to show up for this protest. Hey, can you send me a couple of hundred protesters up here? Yeah, we'll send you some. And they go from place to place. It's like tomorrow. There's 3 here in South Georgia for the No Kings. They're going to be in Albany, Douglas, and Valdosta. All right. And they've got them spaced out. Albany's from 10 to 12. Douglas is from 12 to 2. And Valdosta's from 2 to 4. That's how they got time to move people around. And the reporters can get there so they can report on it. And South Georgia is notoriously red, except for Albany. But these other places are red. And we've got lawmakers out there, talking about, oh, it's great to see, all the parties coming together. And like the Republicans are going to be out there, they're like, $2,000? Is that what they're paid them? That'd be a high risk job, especially over in LA now. They got the Marines landed because they're going to be eating crayons and kicking butt. I love me some Marines. They'll do the job, and they ain't going to take no crap. These National Guardsmen aren't either. They're there to do a job, and they may have yanked the guard out, but he just put some more Marines in there. It's ridiculous the fact that they sat on their hands and let all this mess get started. Oh, it's mostly peaceful. I'm so sick of hearing about riots and lawlessness being mostly peaceful. So yeah, they're getting $2,000 a piece to show up to protest. My goodness. Um, yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. Um, I cannot. Mm. Hey, you people out there that are just normal everyday Joes, they're not wanting a whole bunch of junk going on. Don't get involved in this. You know, they would love, absolutely love to see somebody get killed in this. That would just make their day all the way around. Because if somebody does get killed in it, oh, look what Trump did. Look what ICE did. They're going to blame it on somebody. And they would love to see it happen. Don't fall for this mess. It is manufactured. It is not a real thing. All right. I don't think there's any rational person out there that wants to keep illegal aliens in the country, especially the ones that have a criminal background. Now we're talking about, number one, they're already criminals, they're here illegally, but the ones that are murderers and rapists and wife beaters, drug traffickers, slave traders, they're here, and we're trying to get them out. Why do you want to keep them? And they're going around at these protests with their country of origin flag, like Mexico or Nicaragua or whatever, and burning American flags. Well, if you're going to burn the American flags, you don't want to be here. Go back to your country. You got the flag right there. We already know where to send you. Send them on. They don't want to be here. And the ones that are here, and they had walls up there today, are, they can come. You'll hide them. You'll get them insurance. You'll pay for their college. You'll get them a driver's license, and you claim that you're not a sanctuary state. And no, we're not a sanctuary state. Yeah, you are. You lying through it. These people will lie. I've seen dogs that lie less than these lie less than these people. They will lie like a dog. They'll climb up on a stump, tell you a lie, when they stand flat on the ground to tell you the truth. They are ridiculous. Do not fall for their nonsense. No, do not. And Americans, we're smarter than this, guys. We are. We don't believe everything legacy media tells us anymore. As I refer to it, state TV. We don't believe you anymore. We don't. You got nothing to say that we want to hear because it's a lie. It was mostly peaceful. It's just like those apartments over in Colorado that Trendy Aragua took over. Oh, well, they just took over a couple of apartment buildings. Well, what the hell? We got American citizens living in those apartment buildings, and we're letting them just move in there and just take it over? No, I don't care if it was one house. It's important. It needs to be taken care of. That's point blank, and just like this. And see, they think they're doing these guys a lot of good. All right. If ICE has to go find them, okay, and say there's a child molester out there and they've tracked him down. Well, if there's any other around him that are here illegally, they're still obligated to take those in too because they're here illegally. Come on, people, wake up, smell the coffee. If you've got them in jail, they'll have them in custody, then turn them loose because ICE put a detainer on them. There's a reason why they put a detainer on them. They had other outstanding criminal stuff, and now you're just going to turn them back loose right out into the public. The heck with the citizens. Let's take care of the illegals. That's the important one. That's the message that they're sending. And this is the hill that they're going to die on. Trump was elected in large part for his immigration policy. And he was a lot of it was on building the wall. And a lot of what he got elected on was getting especially the criminal illegal aliens out. That's kind of a misnomer because they're already criminals because they're here illegally. But the real bad ones, they want them out. And I agree. They need to go. But at the same point in time, We can't kick out. Dave's right. We can't kick out 15 million. We can't have that much. There ain't no way. That'll never happen. It'll never pass through. We're never going to get rid of that many. But we need to know who's in this country, what their record is, and give them a path to citizenship. Okay. Now, when I say a path to citizenship, the people that have come into this country and gone through the right channels and did what they needed to do to be a citizen. All right. That's the exact same path that these other ones need to go. They need to go the exact same path. Okay. We got too many here. We can't kick them all out as much as we may want to or need to. We can't. Make them take the same path to citizenship as anybody that came into this country legally. They have to learn English. They got to know some history. They got to know about the Constitution. They got to know these things, know how to drive, obey our traffic laws and stuff like that. And they got to get a Social Security card so they can start paying their share of taxes. Because these ones that are here illegally, all those taxes you pay, they don't pay a cent, not one red cent. They need to be taxed. But we can't let them spit in the face of the people that came here legally and jump through all the hoops that they were supposed to. Okay, sorry, that'll start. It may come out like a list. The people that came to this country like they were supposed to and went through all the process, these illegal aliens that are come in as they're going through their process, they need to go through everything, just like the ones that came here legally. Period. No exceptions. None. We're not going to let them. We should not let them spit in the face of the ones that did it right. And the benefits that they were getting, like for being illegals, that needs to go away. That needs to go away. These states that are doing that, y'all need to quit. Y'all are draining. You're taking money from citizens, your constituents, and giving it to people who aren't even citizens of this country. What kind of sense does that make? If y'all had the same amount of common sense applied to the homeless veteran situation, how many veterans do we have out there sitting on the street? Just sitting out there on the side of the road that served our country? That gum. If y'all had the same passion about that as you do for these illegals, we'd have that problem taken care of. But y'all don't care about that. Let's see, we got a few comments. Jennifer T said, amen. Sorry, I get on soapbox every once in a while. Barry said, unless we go to fair tax and do away with state and federal income tax. Hey, now that's an interesting, used to be, but now we've got state and federal income tax. They get you coming and going. That's bad. You got to go out and get a job so you can pay your taxes, and then they tax the money that you make on your job. Michael says, we need about 10,000 more ICE agents. If I was physically able, I'd go do it for gas, lodging, and food. Just give me a vest, rifle, and a sidearm and a few thousand rounds, and I'd get but I don't want anything bad to happen to anybody. I think if kids come into this country, children, all right, that come into this country that are unaccompanied, we got to know where they go. Because, in the last administration, where Tom Homan took over, we had 300,000 children that we didn't know where they were. 300,000. Now, how ridiculous is that? If they come in unaccompanied, they need to find a place for them. It don't have to be a relative or whatever. Just find a place for them. That they're out there. Get them in school. Get them going that way. We don't want to send them unaccompanied children anywhere. Okay, I don't want to see that happen. I don't want to see families broken up. If they come in with their parents, if the parents have to go, then the child goes with the parents. I'm not for separating families. Keep them together. But these children that have come across unaccompanied, most of them have been treated horribly. And we don't want to sit out into this country to be slave labor or to be taken up available of in other nefarious purposes. We don't want to see them taken advantage of. We need to know where they are. We don't want them treated horribly. I say take care of the children. I'm good with that. I am perfectly fine with that. We darn sure don't want to give them back to the people that brought them here, because I'm quite sure these children were treated horribly. Absolutely. These cartels ain't got no mercy for anybody. And as far as the wall goes, that needs to be finished. I say put it all the way across. Let's build that. We got the big, beautiful tax bill. Let's get the big, beautiful wall complete. Complete. Let's get this thing going and finish it. Come on, Mr. President, get this wall done. That big, beautiful wall. We want to see it done all the way across. Make checkpoints. Let's do it. Let's get this done. We got to control the fentanyl coming into this country. It's coming in from China. They're going through to the cartels, and then coming into this country. Hmm. You know, Broski, I don't think that's ever going to happen. Broski says we need to take over the Mexican and Cuban governments. The cartels run the Mexican government now. It's not Mexican citizens. It's the cartels. They run everything now. Give it up. I mean, it's good if you go to war with them. That's who we're fighting. It's the cartel. You know, and the Mexican government can't do anything with them. Of course, they're probably full of cartel members. So Michael says, shoot, he'd go weld on that wall. I know there's a bunch of rednecks around here and all across this country that would be happy to go weld on that wall too. Broski said, I realize that, but that's how you stop it, though. Yeah, that'd be the only way to stop it, unless we get that wall done and we make a checkpoints, make plenty of checkpoints where they can come through. Keep those done, keep those staffed, and that would clean up our backyard, I think. Yeah, that I mean, we've got to do something because it's a horrible situation. This just not changing, and the Chinese are even using submarines now to get the cartels those precursor drugs that they use to make fentanyl. Come on. Uh, so I mean, it's a bad situation. Uh, you know, and I think if they fire on the ICE agents and the Border Enforcement Patrol agents that are there, they should be able to fire back. You know, absolutely. And of course, that's going to cause a whole big old mess. They can shoot us, we can't shoot them. Yeah, we need to shoot back. You know, should have a right to defend ourselves. We're in our country. If they're shooting into it, they're violating it. And but these guys that are coming in, why would you defend? This is what gets me. Don't mess with kids. Don't mess with children. That ticks me off. And a lot of these illegal aliens that are here, you see report after rapists. Don't mess with women. Rapists, child molesters, all this stuff. Why can't we get out? Get them out. Why? Why are we fighting to keep these people? I don't get it. See, Barry says we could trade some of the good immigrants for the leftists in Hollywood. Deport the Baldwins and some of those politicians, the Kardashians. Yeah, yeah. Let's. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And Michael agrees with that too. It's there. I'm not saying that every illegal immigrant that's in this country is bad. I'm not saying that. I'm saying they came here illegally. They need to come here legally. And if they're going to stay here, They need to go through the same process to become a citizen as people that came here the right way. There's no way around that. That has to happen. It has to. Uh, because if you don't treat them with the same, and see, I think that's fair. You should know about the country that you're becoming a part of. You should speak the language. You should learn the driving rules. You should get a social security number and start paying taxes like everybody else does. If you're going to be a citizen, be a citizen. Be all the way a citizen. Don't be a part way. Don't hide and not do your part. That's not how it works. So if they're not willing to go through that, then ship them out. That's my personal opinion. And I know there's 15 million of them, but that's 15 million more taxpayers we could have if they would go through that process, if they would get their social security number, if they would pay their taxes. I don't necessarily have a problem with that. That's not my issue. But it's the fact that they're hiding and people are helping them hide. And, if there needs to be something bipartisan that goes through Congress that says, okay, if you have a clean criminal record and you're here illegally, step forward. We're going to get you started on this process to learn English, to learn our laws, the same thing that every other citizen of the country has to go through. You're going to get you a social security number and all that. You'll be legal. After you complete it, you'll be a citizen. And welcome to America. Quit hiding. You don't have to hide anymore. You got to worry about someone knocking your door down. You can be a part. Be a part of it. Don't try to just hide. If you do have a criminal background, a criminal thing, come forward. We need you to. But they're not going to do that either. Michael says, if their butts are protesting and waving their flags from the place they left, they need to be deported. Doesn't matter. The Americans protesting need to go to jail. Hey, Mr. Sherbert, you have a good one. Thank you for stopping in. Tell Asher we said hi. We'll see if we can get you. We want to get y'all both on here. Figure out a time and a date. Send me a message there at the Southern Fried Podcast at Yahoo, where y'all can be on here. And we'll get you both on here at the same time if we can. We're on here Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We might sneak in a special show on Saturday just to make it happen, or Sunday. So, yeah. Let us know, sir. Michael says there were some women had little children with them at the protest. They should get them for child endangerment. Absolutely. Mr. says, yes, once he gets his family matters settled, we would definitely want to get on. Absolutely. And we welcome you, and just let us know. Michael, I don't know. I didn't really want to. He's actually signed all the way off. I don't know what's going on there. I'm going to send him a message real quick. I didn't really want to do it during the show, but I need to. I'm doing a lot better, so I need to find out if he's okay there. It won't take me just a second. Let's see. All right. Barry said, I don't think most of those protesters are immigrants. I don't think they are either. I think a lot of those protesters are idiots and paid. You got two classes. You got the paid ones, you got the idiots. And I can't see getting why they even want to keep them. What value could one of those so-called immigration raids was a drug bust that seized 900 kilos of meth? Yeah, absolutely. I remember that. That's the one that they snuck in on the truck, right? Or multiple ones. What value do you assign a child rapist moving in to live next door to you. Is that what we want? What value do we have to people that are shoveling meth into this country by the truckload? Is that who you want living next to you? Is that what you want? No. No reasonable person wants that. And there's a reason why. They're dangerous. They're bad for the community. They're bad for the country. We don't want that here. We don't. I think we've got enough of them up there in Congress. We don't need no more drug heads. We don't need no more tardy tards. We need to get that kind of junk out of here. All right. If you've been dealing in white slavery and stuff like that, you don't need to be in this country. You don't. We don't want that here. I don't think anybody does. So what is the big issue? I mean, get them to step forward. If they want to be a citizen, let them take the path. There's too many to kick them out. So we've got to do something. So we might as well go ahead and accept them, give them a path to citizenship, the same path that any other person come to this country goes through, and do it. There's no point in trying to hide the issues. There's no point in running from it. We're never going to get them all out. It's never going to happen. And it probably doesn't need to happen. But what does need to happen is they need to be citizens. If they're going to be in this country, they want to live here. Obviously they do. They snuck in. If they're going to be here, they need to get a social security number. They need to get everything situated. And they need to become citizens. Actual tax-paying citizens. So, hey guys, everybody that's on out there, we got quite a few. If y'all would smash that like button and give us a follow, we'd greatly appreciate it. We're inching up here a little bit at a time, so I think it was a barn that in a barn, drugs that is. Okay, that may have been a different one than what I heard. So it was great. It was several trucks that came through, and they got a whole bunch. But yeah, that's good. Michael said, "I'm going to get out of here, Rob. Have a blessed weekend. If something is right with Dave, send me a message on Facebook. Good night." All right. Good night, Michael. I will do so. I'll give him a call here at the end of the show, and we will check on that. Oh, I think I got a message back. Hang on just a sec. See what I got. I don't like to text while on here. No, it wasn't there. Okay. Miss Jennifer, I'm glad you're Jennifer from Calhoun. Just so you know, I'm from South Georgia. Dave's up there in North Georgia, but I did live up there in that area for quite some time. I lived in North Georgia and Chattanooga area for about 30 years. I moved back down here, but in Calhoun, that's down around that Dalton area. I used to work over in Chatsworth at one point in time. So, it's beautiful country up there. Beautiful country. When I first came down here, I missed them mountains. But South Georgia has its own beauty. You're right below her. That's right. You're in Rome. That's right. Calhoun. I gotta get my directions right. Yeah. Calhoun's over there toward Rome. So y'all are right close to each other. A Jennifer and a Jenna. Well, not to just change the subject and everything, but to change the subject a little bit. I want to let everybody know that we have our second festival that we're going to coming up next month. And I'm going to put this up there and kind of show it off a little bit. It is the Sawega Ag Fest. And these are some of the goings on that's going to be happening. They're going to have a parade. This is like a week-long event, actually a little over. On Saturday, July the 12th, they're going to have the Ag Fest parade from the ground up. Then they're going to have an arts craft show and a dinner at 7:30. On Sunday the 13th, they're going to have a Sawega Ag Fest Bake Off. We actually have somebody that's going to be hopefully contributing in with that as well. Whoa, what just happened? Oh, what happened to my background? I had a background up there. Let's get that one. Here we go. We actually have a friend of mine's going to compete in the Sawega Ag Fest Bake Off. Thursday, July 17th, Mitchell Baker Farmer Appreciation Dinner. That's Mitchell Baker counties down here in South Georgia. Saturday, July the 19th, they're going to have, which is when we're going to be there, they're going to have the Sawega Ag Fest Barbecue Chicken Cook-Off. Starts at 8 a.m. They're going to have a adult and juniors division on that. They're also going to have the Sawega Ag Fest Festival from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m. That Dave and I were going to be there. And then the next weekend, on the next Saturday, they're going to have the Sawega Ag Fest Baby and Junior Miss Pageant starting at 2 p.m., followed by the Sawega Teen and Miss Pageant at 6 p.m. There's a lot of stuff going on with this. They've really reached out and are including all the counties down here in the Southwest Georgia area. Hence Sawega, if you're wondering where all that comes from. So we are definitely looking forward to it. We are going to be inside in the air conditioning, and we are loving that because it's the 19th in July in South Georgia. That's the only way those things go together. So if you're down here in this area or you want to come down to the area, y'all please come on down and check it out. South Georgia is known for its, we got a lot of friendly people. These festivals are generally a lot of fun. And this is going to be, if you come down on the 19th, we'll put you on the air. Come on up to the booth. If you're down here in the area, y'all make sure you come and see us. But yeah, hey, you got a barbecue chicken cook-off and a festival on the same day. I mean, come on. I think Rowdy Roasters is planning on being there too. I hope they make it. Yeah. So we would love to see all you folks out there. So, and I know Calhoun, that's a drive, but that is just a lot of fun for us to go to these festivals, and we get to meet a lot of people, get the word out on what we're doing, and get the word out on what they do. And I'm gonna tell y'all something else. If y'all want to be on the show, generally I'm gonna try to start setting up Friday nights. Anybody that wants to show up, just send us your email or Facebook, so we can get your get the email or your Facebook stuff information, and we'll send you a link on Friday night, and you just pop right on up again. So, and that would we would love to have you on. So, and just pop up if you're embarrassed and you don't want your picture up on the screen. We can adjust it to where you're not, where you don't have to turn the camera on. You can leave the camera off. We would rather see your face so we know who we're talking to. But we understand that a lot of people go, "Oh, I don't want to be on camera." That's okay. You don't have to be. And one last thing, I'm going to throw this recipe up that David threw up last night. They call this Southern collard greens. And you just have to see the ingredients on this. Read down. All right. Started off good. 3 tablespoons of lard or shortening. Okay. 1 large onion chopped. I can go with that. 6 garlic cloves minced. That's a lot of garlic, folks. 1.5 pounds of smoked ham hocks. A lot of ham hocks, man. Ham hocks are good. I'll give it that. 6 cups of water were good. That's a lot of. I still think that's a lot of garlic. And I'm not real sure about onions in there, but we can do that. It's 2 teaspoons of seasoned salt. I can go with that. 1 to 3 tablespoons of crushed red pepper flakes. We can leave that out. We do not need crushed red pepper in that. We just don't. 1 1/4 teaspoon of sugar. I got to take that ticker down. We got a ticker up tonight, just running along there. Let's hide that. Let's take it off. All right. 1 large bunch of collard greens, about 2 pounds, coarsely chopped. And 1 1/2 cups of white wine. White wine? No. No, don't like it. Don't like it. Don't like it. Not doing it. Oh, pretty good ride. From Rango. 4 or 5 hours, probably, if not a little bit more. Let's see here if I can. See if I can find out for you. There we go. Let's see. Let me check it out. All right. I have no idea what this thing is doing to me. I hate these things sometimes. Let's see. Still trying to find it. Hang on. All right, we're going to start from. We're going to do it backwards. There we go. Well, it says that you can make it to Camilla in 4 hours and 37 minutes. And that's going on I-75. Then you get to follow 75 all the way down to Cordell, go through Leesburg, Albany, then right on down to Camilla. So, yeah, it wouldn't be too bad, but you'd have to drive through Atlanta. But, yeah, it's 4 hours and 37 minutes. And that's with no stops, driving straight through. So, yeah, it's a little bit of a ride. But you never leave Georgia. You're coming almost to Florida if you do that. So, but yeah, if anybody wants to make it down, y'all come on. You're welcome. These festivals down here, Georgia, South Georgia is good about that. I would add some vinegar hot sauce. That is one of the things that's another thing we do good down here. We get them hot peppers and put a little bit of vinegar in there with them, let them soak for a while. Good hot vinegar, a little bit of salt. Oh my goodness, that's pepper sauce will knock them collards right out the door. Man, you talk about good. And get you some cornbread with that. Oh, dude. Fry you up some chicken. Oh my. Now we're talking fried chicken and collard greens with some hot sauce. You might as well go ahead and get you some fat back cooked up to go with that too. Oh, yes, Barry. That was the other thing I was going to do. I got sidetracked there. Where's the bacon? You've got to have some bacon in them collard greens. I don't care if it's just bacon bits. You can put bacon bits in there. That'd be all right. I want some smoky, bacony flavor. But yeah, some fat back with it would make it even better. Now I can't do that fat back stuff much anymore. So, take all the fun out of it. But I could have some every once in a while. I bet that'd be good. Oh, I'm cooking me some greens this weekend. I done got my thing going here. I'm gonna do some greens and cornbread and fat back. I might not do fat back. I might do something else. But yeah, I'm cooking. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Rob's cooking this weekend. I might have to make a video. I think I'm gonna make some videos. I'm gonna show people how to make some cornbread. Yeah. Yes. Yes, collards are good with some pintos, Miss Jennifer. Absolutely. They are good with pintos. Take them pintos, take some of them ham hocks you put in them collard greens, chuck over them pintos too. That'd be good. I'm telling you, collard greens, pinto beans, and fatback. A big old slice of mater. If your garden's coming in and you got some maters, that'd be a good place to use some of them fresh maters. Big old slice of Vidalia onion. Oh my goodness, y'all making me hungry. And I didn't eat before I got on here. I'm about to starve to dad blame death. Y'all killing me. But yes, I think I might do some cooking videos, do some recipe videos this weekend, just for the fun of it. Well, it'd be about that time. Hey, guys, thank y'all so much for tuning in tonight. And I had some issues earlier, and I'm sorry. Not nothing I can help, but I got Miss Jennifer hungry too. Oh, if you're cooking, I'll be down. Hey, come on. You have a good night too, Miss Jennifer. Thank you for joining in. Y'all join in anytime. Barry, everybody, thank y'all so much. And we will see y'all. I may sneak on here a little bit tomorrow, but we'll probably be back on Sunday morning for Dave's Sunday morning in the Word. And he does another show on Sunday evening as well. Y'all make sure to tune in. We love to see y'all. And y'all have a great evening. Hey, like, follow, and subscribe. And we will see y'all. Dave may do one in the morning. I don't know. I think normally he just waits till Sunday morning. I think Saturdays are slow day. Hopefully either Dave or I want to be here. All right. Thank you again. Y'all have a great night. Big old salute to all y'all. And we will see y'all some point in time tomorrow. Love you guys. God bless you. We'll see you then. Oh, wait a minute. I always forget. I got to get down here to my music. So I could we have to do music when we go out. So there you go.
Yeah, they're Southern fried till the day they die.